Some people drain you without ever saying a word. You walk into a room feeling calm and leave feeling heavy, irritated, or exhausted. That's not coincidence. That's energy exchange. The truth is, we live in a world overflowing with noise, emotion, and hidden tension. And if you're spiritually sensitive, an empath, a seeker, or someone in tune with energy, you're not just hearing people's words. You're feeling their frequency. Every conversation, every glance, every vibration leaves an imprint on your spirit. But here's what most don't realize. Sensitivity isn't weakness, it's power, if you learn to master it. The key isn't to shut down or harden yourself. It's to protect your peace, to remain open yet untouchable. In this video, we'll uncover 5 powerful ways to stop absorbing other people's negative energy, to stay grounded, clear, and sovereign in a world that constantly tries to invade your space. Because real strength isn't in fighting energy, it's in mastering your own. Subscribe to Motivation Guru. Join the Guru Clan, where we train the mind to be still, the spirit to be strong, and the energy to remain pure in the midst of chaos. 1. Recognize what's yours and what isn't. Energy is invisible, but it's not subtle. It moves through rooms, through words, through silence. Every person you meet carries an energetic signature, a vibration made of their emotions, thoughts, and intentions. When you're spiritually awake or emotionally sensitive, you pick up on this energy instantly, even if you don't realize it. You can feel someone's sadness before they speak, sense tension before it erupts, or carry heaviness that was never yours to begin with. That's why awareness is your first line of defense. You cannot protect your energy if you cannot identify what belongs to you and what doesn't. Most people live unconsciously, absorbing everything around them, mistaking it for their own emotional truth. But the awakened begin to notice subtle shifts. The sudden anxiety after a conversation, the exhaustion after scrolling social media, the irritation after spending time with certain people. These are not random mood swings, they are energetic downloads. To recognize what's yours, you must first become familiar with your natural state. Spend time alone, without noise, without distractions. Notice how your body feels when you are calm, neutral, and centered. That is your baseline frequency, your truth. Once you know it, any energy that feels foreign, heavy, or intrusive will stand out immediately. You'll begin to sense when something doesn't belong to you. When a wave of emotion rises out of nowhere, pause before you claim it. Ask yourself, is this mine? Often, the mere act of questioning dissolves the illusion. Awareness itself cuts the energetic cord. What's foreign cannot stay where it's recognized. This is the essence of energetic mastery. Observation without ownership. The world constantly projects its chaos, and most people absorb it unconsciously. But when you operate from awareness, you step out of the collective emotional field. You no longer mirror the energy around you. You witness it. You stop being a sponge and start becoming a mirror, reflecting energy without retaining it. It's also important to pay attention to who you feel drained around. Energy doesn't lie. Certain individuals feed off attention, sympathy, or emotional reaction. They are not always malicious. Many are simply unconscious. But the effect is the same. Your frequency drops after interacting with them. Awareness doesn't judge them. It simply recognizes the exchange and refuses to participate. Start to observe patterns. Who uplifts you and who exhausts you? Which environments inspire peace and which leave you heavy? These patterns reveal the energy dynamics of your life. Awareness transforms these patterns into choice, and choice is power. You realize you don't have to absorb, fix, or carry what isn't yours. You can observe energy, transmute it, or step away from it entirely. When you begin to master this awareness, your energy field strengthens naturally. You move through crowds and conversations untouched because you know your frequency. You stop internalizing other people's storms and start walking through them in stillness. This is where power begins, in recognition, because once you know what's yours, no one else's energy can own you again. 2. Stop trying to heal everyone. One of the hardest lessons for an awakened soul to learn is this: you are not here to save everyone. Empaths, healers, and spiritually sensitive people often carry a sacred instinct to help, to soothe, to fix. You see pain in others and feel it as your own. You want to rescue them from their storms, to absorb their suffering and lighten their burden. But in doing so, you unknowingly abandon yourself. This is the shadow side of compassion, confusing love with responsibility. You begin to think it's your duty to heal what others refuse to face, to carry the emotional weight they continually drop at your feet. But no matter how much love you give, how many times you try to fix someone's pain, you can't heal a soul that's addicted to their wounds. Healing is not something you can do for another. It's something they must choose for themselves. The more you absorb the pain of others, the more you dilute your own power. You begin to feel drained, disconnected, and resentful, not because love is wrong, but because it's being misdirected. You were never meant to be a vessel of other people's suffering. You were meant to be a mirror of possibility, a reminder of light. True compassion isn't about rescuing others from their darkness. It's about standing so firmly in your own light that you remind them of their own strength. When you try to heal everyone, you interrupt divine timing. Some souls need to experience pain to awaken, to grow, to remember their own power. By stepping in too soon, you rob them of that necessary transformation. This doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you start trusting that everyone's journey unfolds exactly as it should, and your role is not to carry their pain, but to embody peace. You'll begin to notice that when you hold space, not absorb, not fix, not control, people transform naturally. Your presence alone becomes healing, not because you take on their energy, but because you maintain your vibration. The calm you hold becomes a mirror for what they could be. They start to rise, not because you rescued them, but because you refused to sink. The awakened understand that empathy must be paired with boundaries. Without boundaries, compassion becomes self-destruction. Love without wisdom drains. Love with discernment empowers. You can be kind without being consumed, generous without being used, available without being depleted. Every time you feel compelled to heal someone, pause and ask, am I helping them grow, or am I protecting them from their own awakening? The answer reveals whether your action comes from genuine compassion or unconscious codependency. The shift is subtle but profound. You stop absorbing others' pain, and instead you transmute it. You become an alchemist, turning chaos into clarity, pain into perspective, emotion into awareness. You realize your energy is sacred, and by preserving it, you serve the world far more powerfully than by constantly bleeding for it. When you stop trying to heal everyone, you reclaim your strength. You become grounded, focused, and peaceful. You radiate healing effortlessly, not through effort, but through presence. And that's the paradox of true compassion. The moment you stop trying to heal others, you actually start helping them heal themselves. 3. Strengthen your energy boundaries. Energy is your invisible armor. It's what shields your mind, heart, and spirit from the chaos of the world. But like physical armor, it can weaken if not maintained. Every conversation, every environment, every emotional exchange either strengthens or drains it. And when your energy field is thin or unguarded, you become porous, absorbing stress, negativity, and emotional debris that were never meant to be yours. To stop absorbing others' energy, you must first learn to protect your own. This doesn't mean closing your heart or becoming cold. It means learning to stay open without being invaded. True mastery isn't about isolation, it's about sovereignty. Your energy boundaries are formed by your intentions, awareness, and habits. Meditation helps you center. Solitude helps you reset. Intention helps you fortify. Each time you choose stillness, you cleanse your aura. Each time you affirm your boundaries, you reinforce your field. It's not a one-time ritual, it's a daily discipline, a silent spiritual practice that reminds you, I am responsible for my energy, and no one else controls it. Start by visualizing your energy as light, a field surrounding your body, expanding several feet beyond you. See it strong, radiant, impenetrable. With each breath, imagine it pulsing brighter. This is not fantasy, it's focus. Energy follows attention, and attention strengthens protection. Before entering crowded places or difficult conversations, center yourself and set the intention. I remain calm, clear, and sovereign in my energy. You will feel the difference instantly. Another powerful practice is solitude. Time alone isn't a luxury, it's maintenance. The noise of the world can blur your energy, but solitude restores it. Just as muscles need rest to grow stronger, your aura needs stillness to regenerate. In silence, your frequency recalibrates. The emotions, projections, and frequencies of others fall away, leaving you grounded in your true vibration. Physical cleansing supports energetic cleansing. Water, for example, is nature's reset. Showers, ocean swims, or even intentional hand washing can clear residual energy when done with awareness. Salt baths, sunlight, and fresh air also restore balance. They are ancient tools that modern souls often forget. But the most crucial part of maintaining energetic boundaries is emotional discipline. The moment you allow anger, fear, or resentment from others to enter your emotional field, your energy leaks. Learn to observe these emotions rather than absorb them. When someone projects negativity, visualize their energy bouncing off your field rather than penetrating it. Remind yourself, that's their storm, not mine. You'll notice that as your energy boundaries strengthen, your sensitivity becomes refined. You still feel deeply, but you no longer drown. You sense energy, but you don't carry it. The emotional chaos of others passes through your awareness without sticking to your spirit. You become the calm center in a world that thrives on noise. The truth is, protecting your energy isn't selfish, it's sacred. You can't pour from an empty vessel, and you can't heal from an exhausted aura. Boundaries don't separate you from the world. They allow you to engage with it from strength instead of depletion. Your energy is your responsibility. It's your temple, your armor, your truth. Protect it, purify it, and honor it. Because once your energy becomes untouchable, your peace becomes unbreakable. 4. Master the art of emotional detachment. Emotional detachment is one of the highest spiritual disciplines, not because it makes you cold, but because it makes you clear. It's not about turning off your emotions. It's about mastering them so they no longer control you. Most people mistake detachment for indifference, but true detachment is the opposite. It allows you to care deeply without collapsing under the weight of other people's chaos. When you're emotionally entangled with others, their storms become your storms. Their moods sway your peace, their actions dictate your energy. But the moment you learn to observe without absorbing, everything changes. You stop reacting to every emotional wave, and instead, you become the calm ocean beneath them. You start to feel compassion without drowning in someone else's pain. Detachment begins with awareness. You start noticing when your emotions spike, anger that isn't yours, sadness that appeared out of nowhere, anxiety that lingers after being around someone tense. Instead of identifying with these feelings, pause and breathe. Ask yourself, is this mine, or am I carrying someone else's energy? That simple question acts like a sword, cutting through emotional confusion. You also begin to see that not every emotion requires action. The awakened learn to sit with feelings, theirs and others, without needing to fix, fight, or flee. This stillness is power. It teaches you to hold space for emotion without letting it dictate your behavior. You stop being a slave to reaction and become a master of response. The spiritually mature know that emotional detachment is not suppression. It's not pushing feelings away, it's watching them with understanding. It's saying, I see this emotion, I feel its presence, but I am not defined by it. That distance gives you clarity. And in that clarity, love becomes pure, decisions become cleaner, and your peace becomes untouchable. One of the most profound shifts comes in your relationships. You stop trying to control how others feel or perceive you. You no longer chase approval or carry guilt for setting boundaries. You understand that everyone must navigate their own emotions, just as you must manage yours. You learn to love without possession, to support without rescuing, and to connect without losing yourself in the process. This detachment also extends to circumstances. Life will still bring uncertainty, loss, and disappointment, but you begin to meet these experiences with equanimity. Instead of clinging to what's fading or panicking over what's unknown, you allow. You understand that everything in this world is temporary, that control is an illusion, and that peace only comes when you release your grip on how things should be. Practicing detachment doesn't make you less human. It makes you more divine. You begin to operate from your higher self rather than your emotional self. Compassion flows through you effortlessly, not as obligation but as essence. You no longer carry pain. You witness it, understand it, and transmute it into wisdom. Eventually, emotional detachment becomes your natural state. You still feel, but you don't fuse. You still care, but you don't cling. You still love, but you don't lose yourself in the process. You walk through life grounded in peace, aware of everything, but controlled by nothing. That's the power of detachment. The ability to stand in the fire without burning, to move through chaos without losing your calm, to love fully without fear of loss. When you master detachment, you don't stop caring. You start caring correctly. 5. Cleanse and recharge your energy regularly. Even warriors need to rest between battles. No matter how strong your boundaries are or how conscious you've become, life still touches you. Conversations, crowds, conflict, and emotion all leave energetic residue. Over time, that buildup dulls your clarity and drains your strength. Cleansing and recharging your energy isn't luxury or superstition. It's spiritual hygiene. It's how you keep your inner world clear enough to hear your higher self. Just as you wouldn't wear the same armor after every war without cleaning it, you can't carry the same energy day after day without purification. Energy sticks, especially if you're empathetic or sensitive. The sadness of others, the tension in environments, the subtle stress of digital noise, it all collects in your field. The danger isn't that it enters you, it's that you forget to let it go. Recharging begins with grounding, reconnecting to the earth's stabilizing energy. Walk barefoot on soil, touch a tree, breathe deeply in nature. These simple acts discharge static energy and recalibrate your nervous system. The earth absorbs what you no longer need and restores your balance in return. Next is water cleansing, one of the oldest and most potent energetic resets. Whether through bathing, swimming, or even a mindful shower, imagine the water washing away the residue of others' emotions, the mental noise, and all that no longer belongs to you. Water has memory, and when used consciously, it becomes medicine for the spirit. Solitude is another essential practice. Silence resets your vibration. Time alone allows your energy to disentangle from the frequencies of others. In solitude, you stop absorbing and start radiating again. Your frequency rises, your mind clears, and your spirit remembers its natural rhythm. Breath work and meditation amplify this process. The breath is the bridge between the body and the soul. Each conscious inhale draws in light. Each exhale releases stagnation. When you meditate, your energy field reorganizes. What's chaotic settles. What's heavy dissolves. You emerge lighter, brighter, and more grounded. But cleansing isn't just about ritual, it's about awareness. Learn to sense when your energy feels off. Maybe you wake up heavy, feel emotionally foggy, or sense agitation for no clear reason. These are signals that it's time to reset. Trust them. Don't wait until you're drained to recharge. Just as you eat daily to sustain your body, cleanse regularly to sustain your spirit. Equally important is protective intention after cleansing. Once your energy is clear, seal it. Visualize light around you. Red for strength, gold for protection, white for purity. These visualizations aren't fantasy, they are focus. Energy responds to direction, and intention is direction. And finally, understand this truth. Cleansing isn't weakness, it's wisdom. The strongest warriors are not the ones who fight endlessly. They are the ones who know when to retreat, restore, and return. A clear, recharged soul moves through life with quiet confidence and magnetic power. When you keep your energy pure, you don't just survive the world, you elevate it. Your presence itself becomes medicine. Others feel calmer around you, lighter in your space. Not because you've absorbed their pain, but because you've mastered your peace. That's the art of energetic mastery. To give light without losing it, to heal without bleeding, to walk through shadows and remain untouched. Protecting your energy is not selfish, it's sacred. When you stop absorbing what doesn't belong to you, you stop living on survival mode and start living with spiritual clarity. You begin to realize that peace is not found in controlling the outer world, but in mastering your inner one. You no longer take on every emotion, every problem, every vibration around you. Instead, you stand firm, aware, centered, untouchable. The chaos outside you still exists, but it no longer enters. You witness without drowning. You care without collapsing. You love without losing yourself. This is what true strength looks like. Quiet, grounded, radiant. You become a lighthouse in a storm, not because you absorb the darkness, but because you remain the light. Your energy is your temple. Protect it, cleanse it, guard it like something divine, because it is. The more you preserve your frequency, the more life aligns with your highest vibration. You stop being a sponge for the world's noise and start becoming a transmitter of calm, clarity, and truth. Subscribe to Motivation Guru and join the Guru Clan, a community of awakened warriors mastering peace in a world addicted to chaos. Comment below. What's one thing you're ready to stop absorbing from others today?